欢迎大家来参加这个达赖喇嘛的午餐演讲会。
To this luncheon with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. I know that some of you have come from very far away, from Taiwan, to be here with us today, and we appreciate it. And I also know that a lot of you have been waiting here for a very long time. We thank you very much for your patience there with you, His Holiness, in 1995. And the man who facilitated that interview is here with us today. His name is Rinchen Darlo, and he is the president of the Tibet Fund, which is a nonprofit organization that supports and strengthens the Tibetan communities, both inside Tibet and in exile, through programs in healthcare, education, economic and community development. Prior to becoming the president of the Tibet Fund, Rinchen Darlo was the representative of His Holiness for the Americas. It is my great pleasure to introduce you to Rinchen Darlo, who will have a few words to say on behalf of the Tibet Fund.
Distinguished guests, I would like to begin by thanking Mr. Li Beiwu and friends who are listed at the back of the program sheet for taking so much of their time and energy in organizing this luncheon reception in honor of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. I would also like to thank each and every one of you for taking your time in attending this luncheon to welcome His Holiness the Dalai Lama to Los Angeles. Your gathering itself sends a very strong message to the leadership in Beijing that today the people of Taiwan and the Tibetans are united. This also sends a very strong message to the Tibetan people, 6 million Tibetan people, those who are inside Tibet as well as those who are in exile. This gives moral support to the Tibetan people who would appreciate it very much, and they would feel that people in the free world have not forgotten their suffering. We are passing through the darkest period of our history. As a direct result of Chinese People's Republic of China's occupation of Tibet, more than 1.2 million Tibetans have died. Over 6 million Tibetan monasteries and cultural institutions have been totally destroyed. And monasteries have always been our learning centers, our high schools, and our universities. Some of the monasteries looked like small towns. And except 4 of them, all of them got destroyed by the People's Republic of China. Not only this, that during the Cultural Revolution, that all the monasteries have been emptied. The statues and Thangka paintings that carried antique values have all been sold in antique markets in Japan and Hong Kong. Those that did not carry antique values, for example, statues made out of mud and made out of simple brass and copper, have been completely destroyed, and those made out of brass and copper have been sent to factories and melted into bullions for production. Millions of religious textbooks, and many of which were handwritten, have been burned in huge bonfires that lay smoldering for weeks and weeks. And in Tibet, anything that is Tibetan and that has something to do with Tibetan way of life or Tibetan religion and culture became the target of destruction. Many people ask, why the People's Republic of China is destroying the Tibetan way of life, their religion and culture? The answer is very simple. Because it is the Tibetan religion and culture that makes a Tibetan people unique. So long as a Tibetan is with his language, culture, and religion, there is no way to call him Chinese. So that's why both religion and culture became the target of destruction. Despite of all this, we have been trying to preserve our language and culture, and today there are over 130,000 Tibetans in exile. Majority of them live in India. We do have a government in exile, and there are Tibetans in India and Nepal live in 56 Tibetan refugee settlements. And in exile, we have built over 300 monasteries, and we are running 86 schools, and many of these schools are residential. And Tibet Fund, in which I'm currently working full-time, tries to help the refugees for economic development, for health and education. Tibet Fund was started in the year 1981. His Holiness Dalai Lama is our patron. And for the last 17 years, Tibet Fund has been sponsoring several hundreds of monks and nuns. We also sponsor for children's education. We build community houses in Tibetan refugee settlements. And in health alone, we are helping with several dispensaries, small hospitals, immunization programs. And above all, we are treating people with cataract diseases. Especially these days, we are trying to reach our help inside Tibet. It is estimated that in Tibet Autonomous Region alone, there are over 30,000 people who are suffering from cataract. This is not because there is no cure. There is cure, but there is no facility. And in Tibet, cataract is very common because of lack of medical facilities, lack of vitamin and ultraviolet rays and high altitude and so on. And we have been sending, funding teams of doctors who visit Tibet from Nepal and as well as from United States, and they do run surgical eye camps. And with very little amount, with only $20 per person, we have removed the cataract diseases of over 4,000 people within the last 4 years. And we will be continuing. And then Tibet Fund also runs a scholarship program. Every year we bring between 15 to 20 students to the States, and we are right now running the 12th program. And we began this program in 1998 with help from the USIA. And till this year, we brought 194 people, 94 students. We sent them to different universities and colleges within the United States. And majority of them have graduated from the colleges in the States, and now they are serving the Tibetan refugee community in different capacities. Many of them are teachers, some of them are doctors, journalists, and the people who are also working in health. I think I have taken a lot of time. Once again, I would like to thank all of you for your generosity, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rinchen-Darlo. I just want to let everyone know that we're running on a slight delay. As Mr. Darlo said to me earlier, the benefit of having the State Department is that security is very tight, but that's also the detriment of having, no offense to this fine gentleman here, the State Department present. As I said earlier, I had a wonderful opportunity to interview His Holiness in 1995. It was when I was working for a show called Channel 1 News, which is seen in schools across the United States. And prior to my meeting with His Holiness, my colleague and I had gone to Tibet, just like the journalists you saw in the piece, the primetime live piece. And we also went to Tibet as journalists posing as tourists, because journalists are strictly forbidden from reporting inside of Tibet by the Chinese government. And we got the opportunity to shoot and interview people for an entire day, but the next day we were told by our Tibetan escort that the Chinese government had found out what we were doing and that we were going to be put under arrest and expelled from Tibet the next day. And our escort said to us, "You are going to have to relinquish your tapes to Chinese government officials. So what should we do? You interviewed some people who said some very private things that could possibly get them killed." And we didn't know what to do. As journalists, we had never gone home without the story, so we were a little terrified. And our Tibetan escort said to us, "Give me your tapes, and I promise you I will find a way." I'm getting a little emotional here because it was just one of the bravest acts of courage that I've ever experienced. He said, "Give me your tapes and I promise we'll get them out to you." And my colleague and I had resigned ourselves to thinking that we would never see the tapes again. So we went to Dharamsala to interview His Holiness. And 4 months later, we were back in the Channel 1 offices working on a different project. And all of a sudden down the hall I heard, "Mitch, Lisa, we have a package here from Nepal." And inside the package, of course, was our tapes with a letter from our escort to His Holiness. And to this day, again, that was one of the most courageous things that I had ever experienced or witnessed. And our escort, whose name I'm not going to say here, his bravery will always be a part of me. Once again, I want to thank all of you for being here. So many of you from the Taiwanese community who've come all the way from Taiwan to be here. To introduce His Holiness today is the Chairman and CEO of General Bank. He is also the Chairman of the United Taiwanese Foundation of Southern California and a Senior Advisor to the Taiwanese President Chen Qiuban. We have some things going on behind me. There are, again, a lot of security checks that are being done.
He's already here.
He's here. Is Mr. Li Pei Wu here?
Yes, right here. Okay.
He's behind me.
各位乡亲，
The very handsome Mr. Li Pei Wu is here to introduce His
达赖喇
Holiness.
嘛已經到位啊！哈，再來歡迎達賴喇嘛。先 welcome him first. Welcome him first. Okay.
Before we do that, however, His Holiness will come enter the room.
嚟個執。執得多其他。係，這樣。
Very impressed with this exhibition of patience on all of your part. Very good.
OK， 這樣得嘅啫。
Thank
一节对。请坐。
做的黑哦，啊，好，给他回去看黑较好啦。在吗？啊？还是跟我聊。Your Holiness, ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you for coming. Because of your support, this event is a success. As an economist by training and as a banker by profession, I'm always looking to provide win-win solutions to business deals. And today's event is a win-win-win. On one hand, we have successfully raised over $300,000 for the Tibet Fund to benefit the Tibetan refugees in exile. On the other, we are showing the world that Taiwanese Americans too respect and care about the Tibetan cause. Thirdly, and most importantly, we are about to hear from one of the most respected persons in the world. It is my utmost honor to welcome to our luncheon today His Holiness the Dalai Lama. There could be no more appropriate person to address us on the topic of love, the topic of compassion, and the topic of universal responsibility than His Holiness. For it is His Holiness who has taught so many of us the true meaning of these words. His Holiness has taught us through His teachings, and most importantly, through His Holiness' own actions, love, compassion, and universal responsibility. His Holiness had faced such hardships, the loss of his homeland, and the tremendous suffering of his people. Yet, His Holiness still acts with love and compassion toward all people, including the leadership of the peoples of Republic of China. While many of us would harbor resentment and hatred, His Holiness reached out to those who have caused His Holiness and His people so much pain with a message of friendship and conciliation. His Holiness teachings resonate not only with His own people, but with people everywhere. across international borders and with people from all walks of life. His Holiness now speaks to capacity crowds all over the world. His Holiness is received at the highest levels in the world's governments. Clearly, His Holiness' keen understanding of the human condition has touched the hearts of people everywhere. His Holiness' insistence on non-violence has kept the situation in Tibet escalating. As Taiwanese Americans, when we think about our homeland, Taiwan, we can especially understand and appreciate His Holiness' commitment to peace and nonviolence. There is a common thread unifying all of us gathered here today. As diverse as we may be otherwise, that is our staunch support for the cause of Tibet. This cause is no better represented than by His Holiness and his tireless efforts to bring peace and stability, not just to Tibet, but to the entire Asia-Pacific region. Your Holiness, it is impossible for us to convey our immense gratitude for the words we are about to hear. We will always treasure in our hearts the wisdom Your Holiness imparts upon us. As inadequate as it is, we would ask Your Holiness to accept this plaque as a token of our appreciation for Your Holiness' presence among us here today. Thank you. Read to His Holiness the Dalai Lama, love, compassion, and universal responsibility. Taiwanese Americans for Tibet, Los Angeles, California, USA, June 25th, here, USA.
Thank you. Okay. Ka. Dine. May I speak from here? Okay. Thank you. That's more comfortable. Especially this time without shoe. So this is much comfortable. 강계 도생에서는 땅와들 제방 배제를 담배 전에 대제배 과담 대로 차세로 저 수제디 자가는 로투래 수제디 강계 도생에서는 싱글싱 말해 잘되면 brothers and sisters, especially to Taiwanese brothers and sisters, I'm very, very happy come to here and meet with brothers and sisters here, and I think opportunity share some of our thoughts.
mainly through, I think, interaction. So I'm very, very happy. So I want to express my deep appreciation Mr. Wu Samare and his colleagues and all those concerned people. I very much appreciate. Thank you very much.
咱所有在座的兄弟姊妹，尤其是台湾的兄弟姊妹，今仔日我非常的欢喜，有这个机会，殊胜的因缘来到这个所在，来交咱所有的兄弟姊妹来见面。5声的以及伊的同事邀请我来这个所在来分享咱彼此之间的这款思想，我感觉非常的欢喜。
Of course, before I visit Taiwan, already I had some friends from Taiwan who really showing genuine sympathy and solidarity. And then, after my visit, your beautiful island there, I very much impressed your people's achievement there. Materially highly developed, high living standard, and good, say, high standard of good education. And then meantime, the interest towards spirituality very strong. And then you achieved democracy. I feel now judging recent sort of development, I think in the whole sort of, I think whether you call Chinese or Taiwanese sort of history, I think more than 5,000 years history, the opposition party become the ruling party through election, through genuine election. I think this is the sign of not only you enjoy democracy, but I think the sign of more sort of what's called maturity, mature of the democracy system. I think this is wonderful. So because of these sort of my memory or my sort of feeling, and also this admiration of your recent sort of development, so I especially feel happy with you.
当然，在我拜访台湾之前，已经有真侪台湾的朋友呢，对阮西藏表示这个真诚的支持甲合作。然后我有这个机会来拜访咱美丽的台湾。我对台湾各方面的成就，比如讲经济方面的发展、教育水准的真悬，以及在民主政治方面的推行，尤其是最近在台湾政权会当和平来转移，这是台湾甚至是中国5000年来第一摆和平转移政权的现象，这款的现象会当表示着咱所有的台湾人，不但在追求民主政治方面的成就，而且会当来表示咱台湾呢，在民主政治方面已经非常的成熟，这是我感觉非常欢喜的所在。
Then the political situation. Beside that, that's very, I think, very complicated. And beside that, I want to say, this is the preservation of these great achievement. economy and education and democracy. I think that's very important. And preserve your own cultural heritage and spiritual values. This is very essential, very important, and my part, whatever way, make a contribution. This is regarding preservation of your spirituality and your freedom, or your democracy in these fields, whatever way. So I always willing make a contribution.
政治是非常复杂。除了这个政治以外，我对咱所有台湾人，在这个经济、民主、教育、文化，上较重要的是这个精神价值的保存方面，有非常大的成就。就我个人来讲，这方面的成就是上界难得，是上界有价值的。
So here, as a human being, I believe it is very essential, you see, to have the preserve or sustain human good qualities, such as sense of caring one another, is a sense of sharing, a sense of community, I think sense of oneness, all humanity. These are the, I feel, the basic human values. So through these, you can achieve a better human being. That means more happier one, more successful one.
做一个人类，我认为会当保存一个人正悬的这款品质是非常重要的。换一句话来讲，就是讲做一个较好的人，会当做一个较快乐的人。这是人类价值内底非常重要的一项代志。
So it is very useful, you see, to have clear sort of awareness of these values, and then some kind of conviction. Yes, in order to be a happy person, a happy family, so you need these qualities, these values. And then these qualities eventually familiarize or get used by himself or herself. So that is, I feel, I think the proper way for develop healthy society, healthy family.
所以会当保留这款人的品质。会当互相来关怀，会当做一个较好的人，我认为呢，是互咱这个社会更较进步上介重要的这款因素。
In these sort of values, we all human beings have same potential. I'm talking these values from this, I think the specially arranged chair, and also I think the name of what we call Hofu, living Buddha. Actually, I'm just a human being. So we have no differences between us. So we all have the same potential of good thing and potential of bad things. We all have the same. Then important is through awareness, clear sort of awareness. These things are something very useful for my own life, for my own happy future. And also these are very good for the society, good for the community. And through that kind of conviction, then deliberately try to promote these good values and restrain some of these destructive sort of human sort of qualities. Quality, I don't know, what's the qualities? Quality. So according to my own sort of experience, I'm sharing with you. So you should consider me as just another, you see, your brother, sister, just the same. Don't consider me as a living Buddha. a living Buddha. If I'm living Buddha, then I cannot share my experience with you, isn't it? So I think actually, you see, the very word hopeful, I think that's a little dangerous word.
对这款要做一个较好人的品质，每一个人都有这款能力来觉醒、来达成。今仔日呢，我在诸位特别安排的椅仔顶来向大家来讲话。有真一人认为讲我是一个活佛，其实我是一个真平凡的人。我参咱在座诸位拢无啥物无共款的所在，所以呢，请大位唔当将我当作是活佛。假使诸位若将我当作活佛，我个无法度来讲这个题目。我是一个真平凡的人，活佛这个名词呢是真危险的，非常危险。
So irrespective whether someone believe religion or not, these basic human good qualities is something very essential, very necessary.
所以不管呢，一个人伊是不是信仰宗教，这个对这款人的品质的这款觉醒是非常重要的代志。
So for happier society, even at the global level, happier humanity, I feel these are the fundamental sort of basis of development of a happier world, a happier sort of humanity. So when we look on the level of humanity, we all part of the humanity. So about the future of humanity, we each individual have the responsibility and also have the capacity to make a contribution for that. So in the terms of better humanity, happier world, these qualities I think very, very essential. So these quality must develop each individual persons. And that bigger sort of transformation in the humanity level, see, that cannot come from sky or from somewhere, but the initiative must start from individual.
所以为着这人类的未来，为着咱这社会会当更较好，我个人认为这款人的品质是非常重要的代志。为着要来转化咱人类这款转化的工作，无法度对这天顶飞落来，应该爱对每一个人自己来做起。才会当达到整个人类的转化，互咱有一个较好的社会、较快乐的未来。
I feel that in 20th century, we humanity learned many experiences, and actually I think we humanity carried many experiments. Like I think the social system, economy system, government system, and many levels. I think in many fields, see, humanity carried some experiment. So sometimes I feel I think on the basis of artificial hope, an artificial sort of, let's say, I think artificial hope, or hope on the, let's say, no, I don't know what a proper word, I don't know, but something like, I think a certain sort of hope which essentially some kind of belief which actually not realistic. Some kind of, you see, they create some kind of imagination, right? And some kind of belief. And on that belief, and create some kind of, develop some kind of hope, and with that empty hope, unrealistic hope, you see, they make a lot of effort to achieve that hope. But then since that is not realistic, so time passes, time itself made clear this is something unrealistic. So I think the 20th century, I think that kind of situation, I think took place. You understand? Clear? My English is difficult, so my translator very difficult.
我认为在这个20世纪，咱人类啦已经有真侪经验，嘛已经做过真侪的实验，不管在经济方面、在政治方面、在这个政府方面，咱已经拢做过真侪的实验。在这款人类的希望、信念、信仰的基础顶面，咱唔但讲爱去想，嘛应该爱个拍拼。啊，若无这款的想法，拢是无符合实际。
So I think basically, I believe today's world compare 50 years ago, I think much changed in positive way.
所以我相信啊，咱今仔日的世界，交50年前的世界来比较，已经有真大的改变。
And I think one example, what you call in Chinese or I don't know, in Asia, some people believe some Western values are simply not fit to Asian society. And some say democracy is something Western concept and may not fit in Asia. But now I think the recent historical sort of events now clearly shows that's not the case.
我举一个
I
例
think，one clear sort of example is the development in Taiwan. I think this is, something great things.
我举一个例，比如有人安尼讲，有一寡西方的这款思想，并无符合着咱东方。嘛个事实来证明，尤其是最近台湾民主的发展，事实证明西方的民主价值，嘛是会当适用着咱东方。
So basically, as I mentioned earlier, you see, I think the humanities, I think the trend seems to see the more direct, positive direction. So in spite of some difficulties, some sad things here and there, I think basically things are really becoming more hopeful. So here I want to share with you our Chinese community, or please say, whether called Taiwanese or Chinese, I think basically it's the same Chinese culture, isn't it? I think. So in any way, you see, broadly speaking, you see a human community which you see several thousand years sort of traditions. Usually we call Chinese culture, Chinese traditions. Now, I feel, now I'm not saying this is a political motivation, but simply, you see, they're saying, the mainland China, there are a lot of distractions about your own traditions, about your own traditional values, and besides spiritual values. Very clear. But then in Taiwan, in spite of some dictatorship sort of also the difficulties, but generally I think the traditional value still is kept there. So I often, you see, telling my Japanese friends, the Japanese, you see, people have greater sort of, I think, the opportunity to make combination, material development or material values and spiritual values come together. So similarly, I feel, broadly speaking, there are Chinese brothers and sisters who have long sort of the history of civilizations and rich cultural heritage and rich spirituality, and meantime the material sort of facilities also, you see, equally very good. So combine. Through that way, you see, person or that community become more sort of, I think, the sort of fuller sort of holistic way. More complete. Only material facility without much spiritual inner values. That's something just half. On the other hand, I think we, like Tibetan, spiritually quite rich, but materially very backward, very poor. That also something half. I think combine, utilize all the material facilities, at the same time, the inner spiritual values, richness, combined. So certainly, I think you can make a contribution in these fields.
所以我认为啊，人类的改变已经是向正面的方向来的改变。今仔日有这个机会，参咱在座的台湾人，还是讲中国人也好，因为实际上台湾人、中国人拢有同款的文化。会当参咱周围的朋友啊，来分享到我个人的观念。我应该安尼讲，中国大陆有真侪方面，拢来破坏掉咱周围传统的文化。嘛，搁在台湾，咱周围呢有非常杰出的成就，不但在物质方面有真好的发展，而且咱周围保留着传统的文化价值。这个是讲在物质交精神文化两方面拢会当兼顾着。我嘛常常向这个日本人来讲，日本人会当物质有真好发展，也阁会当保留着因传统的日本文化。这款的现象是非常难得的，因为那单单在物质方面的发展，是咱人生活的一半尔。我嘛认为讲西藏精神的文化非常的进步，嘛个物质的文化非常的歹落后，所以嘛无完全，这嘛一半尔。假使咱在物质、精神两方面拢会当兼顾着，这个是上界圆满 的社会，我相信咱诸位朋友在这方面拢会当做出非常大的贡献。
So as a conclusion, I want to share with you is since there is, I think, the real sort of possibility making a contribution for humanity, for humanity or towards the Asia and in the Chinese community. So under that circumstances, it is very, very important to carry sort of as I mentioned earlier, this combination of the material development and the spiritual development, and through that, and then with sort of determination, with patience, with more holistic approach, through that way, I'm quite sure you can overcome all these sort of little turbulent sort of situations. This is my belief and my hope. So after that, I want to receive some questions, and question and answer. Through question and answer, I also can learn some new things from your side. And also certain point, if you individually have some interest, then we can talk.
所以为着全体人类，尤其是亚洲人，尤其是中国人的未来，我非常诚恳来仰望着咱诸位朋友，会当在最物质进步的同时，我来当来注意到咱精神的文化，安尼两方面兼顾到，才会当较圆满。下来的时间，我希望会当有这个问答，我嘛当向咱诸位呢来学习到真侪代志。
So how to manage?
Okay.
Some question answer.
Just a moment. I want to summarize in Mandarin. I just speak in the Taiwanese dialogue.
我现在做一个很简单的一个国语的一个重述。达赖喇嘛法王啊，他刚刚这么说非常高兴有这个机会呢，跟我们在座的所有中国人、所有的台湾人共聚一堂，来分享他个人的经验。中国的文化已经有5000多年了，我在台湾都能够得到很完整的保留。固然我们遭遇了种种的困难，可是我们在教育、经济、文化、精神、民主政治方面都有长足的进步。尤其是最近台湾的民主发展，已经在中国历史上5000年来第一次缔造了和平转移政权的奇迹。这可以说是我们在座诸位先进朋友们的一个伟大的贡献。很多人以为西方的价值不一定适用于东方，可是这么多年来，事实证明，西方的民主政治也可以适用于东方的。为了人类的未来，为了社会的和谐以及人类的幸福，达赖喇嘛他以一个自称平凡的人的立场，诚恳的希望大家能够兼顾到物质文明以及精神文化这两方面，这样子我们才能够有一个美满的人生。那底下是问答的时间。 Here's one question. How do you find real happiness? What is the most important thing in life? 这个问题是，当慈悲与智慧不能平衡时，用什么力量方法来处理？他问达赖喇嘛的，你怎么样发现真正的快乐？人生里面呢，最重要的事情是什么？
How do you find real happiness?
What is the most important thing in life?
I feel my last now more than 50 years difficult period, and especially the last 41 years, I think the more holistic view that very helpful to keep hope. Now, the Tibet issue. Now, for example, the Tibet issue is case. If I look Tibet issue locally, then you see there is every reason feel frustration. But if you look from wider perspective, yes, that there is a lot of signs of hope. So every problem, when you see some problem, facing, try to look from various angles, from wider perspective. That helpful, you see, to keep your hope. And then also the practice of karuna, practice of compassion. And now, for example, you see oneself dedicate for the welfare of others. Now one sort of, I think, the Buddhist prayer verses like that. The so long space remain, so long sentient beings suffering remain, I will remain in order to serve. So see these, this attitude is really helpful to keep peace of mind.
这个问题，伊是问达赖喇嘛讲，你安怎当发现到正讲的快乐？人生内底，什么是上界重要的？伊的答案是安尼，讲到依照着伊过去50年，尤其是最近41年的经验，上界重要的代志呢，就爱保持着一个希望。就有一个希望，有一个希望，咱的未来才会当较好。就这个世宗的问题来讲，假使咱若对这个较矮的角度来甲看，可能会感觉到非常的失望。嘛个，咱若有法度用较宽的角度，对各种不同款的角度来看，阁有真侪希望的现象出现。除了保持希望以外，另外一项代志呢，阁爱修持这个慈悲心。佛经内底有一句话安尼讲：但愿众生得离苦，不求自己的安乐。时时刻刻保持着慈悲的心，对一切众生、对一切人类来关怀，安尼咱当得到正觉的快乐。怎么样达到真正的快乐呢？达赖法王他这么回答：第一件事情，要怀抱着希望，对一切事情都充满着希望，我们的未来才有可能更好。其次，应该要实践慈悲心。佛经里面有这么一句话：但愿众生得离苦，不为自己求安乐。 时时刻刻慈悲为怀，关怀一切的众生，一切的人类，这样子可以让我们得到真正的快乐。The next question. Most of your followers advocate Tibet independence, and yet you assert autonomy for Tibet. How do you reconcile the difference? 这问题是讲，你的同胞有真侪人拢安尼鼓吹西藏的独立，嘛个呢？你是肯定着西藏的自治，这两方面无同款的意见，你要安怎来调和？这个问题是说，您的西藏同胞大部分呢都追求西藏的独立，可是你却肯定西藏的自治，你追求西藏的自治，你如何来调和这两种不同的意见
？Now, like Tibetan youth organization, they very critical about my approach. My approach, as I think most of you know, that I'm not seeking independence, I'm seeking genuine autonomy. But that I feel, I consider, they carry sort of struggle for complete independence is Tibetan legitimate right side. But my approach is, firstly, the destructions inside Tibet, the Tibetan culture and Tibetan environment, these are very, very serious. So we have to find some way to stop these things and to protect our environment, our cultural heritage or spirituality, these things. Then secondly, Tibet, as I mentioned earlier, materially backward and landlocked country. So in order, and then meantime, no single Tibetan are wishing or thinking restoration of our old lifestyle. So we want to join modern world. Therefore, we need material development as quick as possible. So for that reason, if we remain within the People's Republic of China, for material development is concerned, we might get greater benefit, provided the Chinese government give us, a genuine autonomy, which they safeguard of Tibetan cultural heritage, spirituality, and environment.
关于这个问题有一寡西藏青年的组织非常感冒，伊对我讲追求西藏的自治呢，这个意见呢有无共款。嘛过我个人是安尼认为，西藏的独立，这个方向可能是对的。嘛过在这个目前的情形下，西藏的文化、精神的传统以及自然环境，已经受到真大的迫害。所以上界重要的代志，就是爱找一个方法，会当来阻止到各方面的迫害。我个人认为，在这个中华人民共和国内底，假使西藏会当得到真正的自治，会当改善掉目前各方面受迫害的这款情形。因为我每一个西藏人，拢爱认为，在保留着传统的文化价值的同时，咱嘛个爱追求这个物质的进步。我嘛要参加到这个世界的这个社会， 所以我认为呢，留在中国的范围内底，有当正港的助力呢，在这方面有正大的帮助。关于这个问题啊，达赖法王他这么说，有很多的西藏青年的组织，对于达赖法王鼓吹或是追求这个西藏的自治，有一点不太同意。可是他个人这么认为，西藏的文化、天然环境以及传统精神价值已经受到极大的迫害，必须当务之急就是阻止这种现象。西藏人在希望保留固有的传统价值之余呢，也愿意加入这个国际社会，也愿意改善物质方面的进步。所以达赖法王他认为说，留在中华人民共和国里面，如果能够得到真正的自治，在这一方面呢，可以得到很大的帮助。也就是说，保留了传统的文化，又可以改善经济、物质方面的进步。In what specific way can the Taiwanese people help the Tibetan people in the struggle with the People's Republic of China？ 这个问题啊，伊是安怎讲？讲这个台湾人有啥物特殊的方法，会当帮助西藏人来对抗这个中华人民共和国？
Here I feel one of the, I think, the causeway, what's say? I think one of the cause of the problem is lack of awareness among the Chinese in mainland China and leaders. Although now time passes, now more and more, you see, Chinese, especially the intellectuals and thinkers, philosophers, now begin to realize, you see, true situation of Tibetan struggle. So the Taiwanese brothers sisters, and also see some of the Taiwanese as well as some Chinese who remain in outside world, you see, from time to time visit mainland China, and then use this opportunity, and then educate Chinese brothers sisters in mainland China. What's the Tibetan culture? What's Tibetan spirituality? And then the values which the outside world now they enjoying. I think these are very important to make clear. Otherwise, I feel out of ignorance, these some of these unnecessary problems I think happen because of the ignorance. So they educate through personal conduct, through personal way. I think that's one I think great helpful way, one way to help.
我认为啊，这问题会产生，大部分是因为中国的领导人物对西藏的文化、西藏人的希望无啥了解，所以讲台湾人，也是讲在海外的中国人，会当利用访问中国的机会来教育，互因了解西藏的文化是啥物款，而且来教育中国遐领导者，西方外国的即款价值是啥物款。我认为这方面呢，咱台湾人会当帮助到这西藏人。这个问题是 请教达赖喇嘛，这个台湾人如何能够协助西藏人来对抗这个中华人民共和国？达赖法王的回答是这样子的，他认为问题之所以产生，是因为中国的领导人对于西藏的文化、西藏人的希望不能够充分的了解，所以在座的台湾朋友，或者是海外的中国人，应该利用访问中国的机会，来教育他们，让他们了解西藏的文化传统是什么，也让他们了解西方外国的价值是什么。透过这种教育，应该可以帮助西藏人。
And then, if possible, this is some publication, this is some books in Chinese about Tibetan culture, about Tibetan spirituality, about the current situation, and also Tibetan history. Make available in Chinese language. That also very essential.
此外呢，我也当利用到这个刊物来介绍西藏的文化、西藏的现况、西藏的精神、宗教方面，这方面呢，我也当有帮助。此外，达赖法王也提到，可以利用刊物，用中文的刊物介绍西藏的文化、西藏的现状以及精神价值。这一方面呢，都会有所帮助的。What would you what is it? Spiritual.
I also find it difficult to read.
Okay. Do you think by granting PNTR, permanent nation trading rights to China, will help to open the road for democratic reform of Chinese population, thus improve the chance of self-determination of Tibet and Taiwan? 这个问题是安尼讲，你认为啦，和这个中国和这个中国这个永久国家贸易的权利 PNTR 这款的权利呢，会当对中国人开放到这个民主改革的路，因此来改善到西藏加台湾的自决。伊是不是安尼认为
I believe that in the long run, the more interact the outside world, then naturally, you see, their ignorance will disappear, and they see the reality. So through that way, I think, you see, the positive impact definitely come. That's my feeling. Then after all, China, the most populated nation, must bring into the mainstream of world community. And then that respect, the China, People's Republic of China, they themselves want to join world community in the economy field. But they are very, very reluctant in open society, political liberalization. But then also the interest of People's Republic of China itself, the more political liberalization is very necessary. But I think as I mentioned earlier, I think global sort of the trend, the more sort of the positive direction. So sooner or later, the People's Republic of China also have to follow more open society way. Meantime, the world community can help to speed it up, or to speed up more liberalization, political liberalization, like that. So, more closer relation with mainland China, more chance to open up. That's my feeling.
达赖喇嘛的答案是安尼，伊讲是究竟来讲，假使若当交世界社会有较密切的即个来往，会当改善到中国在民主方面的自由化，因为会当较了解到外口的情形。会当启度到因对世界局势有无认识的所在。另一方面呢，咱世界社会嘛会当帮助中国在政治自由方面加速来进行。这个问题啊，是请问达赖喇嘛说，你认为啊？给予这个中国这个永久国家贸易的权利，能不能够为中国人打开一个民主改革之路，因此改善、增加西藏以及台湾的自觉？达赖喇嘛的回答是这样子的，他确实相信如此。终究来说，如果能够跟外面的社会加强联系，就可以扫除很多对于现况的不了解，因而促使中国政治上的自由化。另一方面，世界社会也可以帮助中国加速政治的自由化。Individuality. And how about this? This spiritual advice. Okay. What would your spiritual advice be to a country like America that highly, what is it? Value individuality to
that highly value individuality and freedom, often at the expense
of others. In other words, how can we get along with others? Yeah. Yeah. On one side, it is the highly individuality, and on the other side is freedom, individual freedom. Yeah, how to reconcile with each other?
English I don't think any sort of contradiction. The spirituality and individual freedom, no contradiction. But the individual freedom, the at the extreme, regardless the other sort of right. That's I think is a right kind of individual freedom. I don't think. So basically, the individual freedom, individualistic sort of view, attitude, and spirituality, no contradictions. As a matter of fact, as far as Buddhism is concerned, I feel something like a very individualistic sort of view. I feel like that.
Is that right?
Clear?
Okay. 这个问题啊，伊是讲，你有啥物可能到开始无？因为像美国这个国家，一方面是非常来注重着个人的意见个人化，另外一方面呢是追求着这个个人的自由。这两方面呢，要安怎有当上介好的平衡？达赖喇嘛的回答伊是安尼讲， 伊讲伊并无认为讲这两方面有冲突，就是讲一方面追求着个人化，一方面呢，注重着这个自由呢，互相并无冲突，因为自由一定爱尊重着每一个个人的个人化，就是讲每一个个人的特色。安尼时阵，才是正讲的自由。那就讲到伊是一个佛教徒来讲，伊追求着这个自由，嘛是伫发展着伊个人的这款特色、个人化的这款要求。
So I think I briefly mentioned it before also. The spirituality. When I say spirituality, I believe there are two levels of spirituality. One spirituality with religious belief, one spirituality without religious belief, but simply they sustain or practice the human values.
我头前有真简单安尼提起，讲这个精神的价值，会当包括两方面。一方面呢是有关宗教方面的精神的价值，一方面参宗教是无关系。不管这两项，上较重要的基础，就是爱注重着人类的价值，这块才是上重要、上基础啊。怎么样取得这个个人化跟这个自由两方面的和谐？达赖法王他这么说，他不认为这两方面呢是有所冲突，因为自由的追求一定要注重每一个人的独特性，而且他也曾经提过，精神的价值可以有两个层面。第一个层面跟宗教有关，第二个层面跟宗教无关。不管是哪一个层面，都必须以人类价值为基础，发扬人类的基本价值。
So finish. Thank you. Sao rồi? 开放对不对？开放，吃饭对不对？干嘛哎？Thank you very much.